Get off that. That's somebody get off. All right, give me a second, y'all, real quick. Hold on. I'm about to see what's up with my dog, Bobby. We up in here, though. Hold on, real quick. Give me a second, real quick. There's one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's popping, yo? What's popping? Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to see where my dog Bobby at. We got Pulp up in here. Give me like 20 seconds, real quick. Apologize for the delay, but I don't want to be like 9 o'clock and then going, I'm missing, because I know y'all be letting me have it. All right, okay, boom. Let's see what we're doing. Give me a second, real quick, right now. Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. We good? Yeah. Oh yeah, we up in here, man. We up in here. You right, Paul? What's up, my connection? Let me switch to wired real quick. I think this is the 5G one. Let me see. Because this gotta be the it's the wired one. Yeah. So let's see, glitching. Hopefully I'm good overall. Yeah, but how y'all doing the live, man? What's up with y'all, man? We got a lot of chips up in here, a lot of chips. You gotta be the dang timestamp guy, man. Definitely gotta be a timestamp, bro. Cause you be everywhere, a lot of chips. I swear you do. But today's topic, y'all already know that we definitely gonna address the Autobot trolls with the prejudice racial remarks. And I know a good bit of people think that we're gonna like go back and forth going ham, but to be honest, like it's more method to that madness. It's like, pointless to be going back and forth with stuff like that, especially over the internet. You know what I'm saying? But this is about psychological analysis right here and definitely getting to the core of what's going on. Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and call my dog. Why the heck do I look all fuzzy? Get to the core of this whole situation right here. Why people feel a certain type of way. Like, hold on, let me try this real quick. All right, boom. Put this on. That on. Matrix one. Try to put this light up right here. Thumb on the camera. I'm good now, am I? Try now. This sucks. This sucks. Hey, yo, what's up, y'all? Appreciate y'all for hopping in. I might turn my freaking green screen off, man. Like, this thing wilding. All right, is that good? I think. I'm gonna try one time. This green screen thing don't work. I'm about to just cut it off. Y'all just gonna see a green screen behind me. All right. I think that's good enough right here. If it act up again, I'm definitely gonna cut it off. But yeah, give me a second real quick. Let me go ahead and give Bobby Cash a call real quick and shouts out to Moe Factz because he had wanted to hop on. I don't know if it's gonna be during or after. We're gonna figure out definitely. Hold on, give me a second, bro. Hey, what's up, bro? Yeah, we live right now though. Yeah, I hear you well. Yeah, we live right now. Like I sent you the link. Like everybody can hear you in the chat right now.
Hold on. I ain't get it yet. This probably my fault. See. Resend it to me again.
About to send it to you right now.
It just came in. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. It's all good, bro.
Excuse me, everyone. That's my fault. I get carried away with typing and research and stuff sometimes. I'm about to come in now.
Facts. That's respect. Yeah, you good now on my end, audio and visual. Appreciate that, shots fired. Appreciate that. That's mad love. You're good. Looks like you really in the Matrix. Yep. Shouts out Pulp Facts up in there. Now we got the boss man up in here.
Oh man.
What's going on with you, bro? I'll let you go ahead and take over for like a minute or so real quick.
Writing, I was gonna go live later, but I had rethought about that, so I'm gonna just do that content over with and just do that probably some other time, like regularly on Saturday. But I want to mention something. When I first had looked in here before we had got on here, somebody had left a comment already and said you can't relax when you're a Niggaville. That's a quote that came from Tommy Sotomayor's page.
Okay, see, so they got a favor with Tommy. They, Tommy, his channel, they kind of like Tommy right there. I did not know that though, because I watched Tommy.
Me? I can't hear you, man.
Hold on, can you hear me? Mic check.
Hold on. I can't hear you.
You hear me now? You probably got to back out and come back in real quick. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm about to say, hey, can anybody in the chat hear me? Shots fired, Pulp Facts. Tommy gets no love. Oh man, don't do Tommy like that. Tommy's sort of, yeah, he been wilding lately though, but yeah, overall, yeah. He about to come back in though real quick. I'm good. I appreciate y'all for like rocking with us, but we definitely gonna take our time with this right here. We're gonna get into the depths of this right here. Those of y'all who don't know who Bobby Cash is, oh, he's here right now again. Yep. You hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, perfect. All right, now go ahead and finish off with that Tommy thing you were saying.
Yeah, that quote that I was reading, I said that's a coincidence considering what you said happened last time. It's like I be watching his shows and stuff sometimes, and he do give people quotes and things like that to say and go around and to give. I think it's kind of crazy because the last dialogue that I gave out to people about the 4 different types of Aboriginals in America, I sit around and look at the 4 different classes of people like that, and it just shows how they keep some confusion and unite and no unity with that type of stuff going on anyway, because he has like a conservative type of view. So you're gonna have people who come to pages like this and do stuff like that because of people like that giving him the green light to do such like buffoonery and stuff of that nature.
Dang. So that's crazy. So yeah, I had did one track down that was for educational purposes on the Autobots, and like we are aware. So pretty much you got these people who are like in organizations that have set beliefs, and they favor a couple of people, and they'll just come on certain people platforms on YouTube and they'll spam. They don't use YouTube. It's like how to put it this way. To be honest, I think some of them are intermediate at coding at like C# or on
Yeah,
Python. So pretty much if you block them or delete them, it'll spam like 5 repetitive comments, and they'll use like a emoji and a different type of font so that it won't get picked up off of YouTube. You know, like when you put something kind of crazy on YouTube, it'll flag it.
yeah,
They got it down pat. And Discord, got some Discord panels right here. You know, IP2 is the one that's popping the most, but they pretty much troll. They trying to like, harass people. But we
man. What I
wanted to
don't
get
get,
go ahead, my bad.
my fault. Go ahead.
I'm definitely gonna ask you. We wanted to get into the depths of why people feel like that. Like, why do they feel that certain type of way? Like, go ahead.
I honestly can't tell you. I keep asking this question, but nobody wants to answer it. Honestly, people start to avoid it to actually get pissed off at it. I think that's something Americans like actually doing. Because at the end of the day, we can sit here all day and ask somebody to come on here and explain why they attach to racial or the political racial part of the deal, and nobody will give you an answer. So what I'm going to do is probably disappear again for a while and just sit back and watch anybody and see if they come up with this topic. If they do, but they don't actually go nowhere, then I'm going to come back out and start speaking again. But at the end of the day, what I want to know is how are people going to help? How are people going to help the black culture when they can't get outside of being niggas? This is one question I keep wanting to know. None of these people are familiar with niggas. Y'all need resources. That's what black people keep screaming for. But y'all have no connections to anyone. The people in Africa don't see y'all as a connection because at the end of the day, there's no such things actually as African American. When they come here, they're classified as first immigration African. That's it. They keep their nationality and all. So if you're going to keep reaching for resources or asking for help like the Asians did, that's the biggest thing I keep saying. The Asians had no problem getting help. Well, the Asians are actually a nationality and they're not ruled by the government. They're not conquered in this land by a certain type of people. So at the end of the day, they get those resources. I really want black people to grasp the point. They're not going to get a resource because they're not attached to nobody or a nationality that comes with the resource. It's going to become a point to where if everybody was to get into it, well, this is a better example of giving it. The Jewish people have Jewish people to run to if a war break out. Asians have the Asians and like stuff like that. Um, like everybody has somebody to go to. Who are black people going to ask for help? They can't ask Africa for help, and people aren't really going to help them at the end of the day anyway. So if one for war break out, what would they actually do?
That's a great question right there. That is a great question. So you got it like you summed it up like how you said, they don't classify it as African American when they come over, like Akon and them, they classified as first immigrant and they leave, it's the benefits, it's a business. I
Like
feel
I'm
you.
really just want to know though. I think it's irritating to some people that I keep asking that, but it was irritating to me is sitting back and watching a bunch of people march and complain about a bunch of stuff they don't really know how to get a grasp on. These people, but they basically keep saying reparations. Well, to be honest with you, the trick to that would be the moment, and then they've even said this, the moment they even think about what they can give you back for reparations, you're going to have to prove that you come from slaves. So not only can they tell you that you come from these people, but before you able to get reparations, you're going to have to prove you come from such set of people. So how is that possible?
I don't know. Like you're right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's good questions right there that need answers to. But real quick though, my dog, um, Vox Chair was the one who had said that Tommy phrase, and his comment said it's for the. His response to the question is it's for the comedic aspect of it. It's funny to see people react over words. Something so flippant, I can't even damn read. To me, gains such a large reaction out of someone else. It's an easy shot. So I don't care about politics. I don't care about race. I care about laughing, and I guess I find things funny that others find shocking. So like satire. So that's an understandable thing. Like
I
Vox Chair,
mean,
I'm
but
assuming he.
satire is not
What?
something that's funny. Like the brain doesn't know what a joke is. People think they're actually laughing and joking. Technically, if it was to sit down and read, the brain doesn't know what a joke is. So every time you laughing and saying that it's something funny, you're actually being honest subconsciously. So
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
know what? Go ahead.
go
My
ahead,
bad.
my fault. No, go ahead, go ahead.
I got a question. So with comedy, right? It's like I realize comedy is like exaggerated, and like it's a stereotype just with every race and everything. They classify,
Facts.
and people when they say a joke, people like, oh, people be late or this and that. People be da da da, and they laugh at it, but it's always truth behind comedy. So go ahead.
Yeah, that's a fact. Because even you can ask comedians, they'd be like, "There's actually no joke. It's actually how you set up the truth and a punchline that comes with the truth that follows behind it." It said basically what you're doing is telling people you're lying, but you're finding a way to put it in a witty form and having a good laugh about it at the end of the day. But what kills me is Americans use that as like they use a bunch of catchphrases that don't actually make a sense. They'd be like laugh because it helps, or they'll watch a guru video that's like 30 minutes long and be like, well, this person said such and such about laughing, when naturally they walk around and they ask for laughter and freedom. While at the same time, how are you going to go watch people for 30 minutes and turn around and forget the lesson you just learned, but then go out and march and ask for a freedom space so you can laugh? It's like people in America ask for things that they could just naturally do. And to me, it puzzles me that they're just stuck in some false matrix, to be honest with you.
Dang.
Like I ain't gonna lie to you, they about to run the scoreboard up again. This slavery shit, they're still in it. They're about to go 500 years. They about to get a number five, like they're giving them high five for a good job at the end of the day. And you already know how they see me when I speak like this. I really don't care. Like I'm really just wanting to know what are they gonna do. Like they have children at the end of the day, and that's all they talk about. We need reparations so we can feed our children. What are they going to do when they make them prove if they're from slaves or not? That's what I really want to know. I wish somebody would chime in, or anybody. I don't care who it is. You can have a major in history. At the end of the day, I bet you they can't answer this question.
Yeah, I mean that's you asking them to prove that is like asking to prove the number of slave ships that was in the Atlantic trade right there. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I
And,
mean I get you though. Go ahead.
and that's why the dude was like, I'm shocked to see people react over such words. It's not technically the words that we're reacting over, it's the fact that you're trying to provoke something of an essence that really has no use. Its only use is for you to be able to have freedom of speech to insult somebody in order to have no retaliation behind it. So it's the provoking that's the problem. Like the person was wanting to know, why is it such a big rash in this world? What's the use of being provoking? Even though most people don't know racism is nothing but intellectual cowardice, there's no reason to go around and try to poke for fun at people. You don't know how most people are going to react to that situation.
But okay, so I'm gonna go on devil's advocate. So let's say that with Jordan, and they said that in Vox, he said he just like to, you know, make things funny. Like pretty much. Let's say he has a Joker mindset, like the movie Joker. Oh, this
Nah,
is a
he can't
circus
be
act.
Joker. I ain't gonna stunt. That's not a Joker move. The Joker's more of like, I'll look at Joker's more logical because at the end of the day, the Batman's somebody who could be technically the villain. Nobody asked him to do the shit he was doing. He's just some rich person who
I'm
got a
glad you
damn
talk
suit and
about
start
this. You're right.
say
I said
what?
I'm glad you talk about this because I told one of my friends a while back. I said that Batman is a self-righteous, misguided. Stop.
Yeah.
That's gonna hurt them. Go ahead.
It's like crazy because how do you have a superhero and then you have another one who's like that and he's not even the original person from the planet, which is Superman, and they get in a fight. They have their own movie where they get in a fight, but they from justice. How you get the fuck up the time but get justified for it at the same time? That makes no sense at all.
That is true. Joker,
So what?
Batman, is Gemini. Go ahead, my bad.
So dude can't be the Joker. He's wanting to provoke somebody and laugh at their pain without getting a consequence behind it. The Joker actually laughs at someone for trying to think they're going to justify something with wanting the smoke behind it. He's just trying to
Oh,
get away with being vulgar at somebody at the end of the day. And most people are not going to let that slide, no matter, like, some people are not going to let it slide. I can't say most, some won't let it slide. Just like you was easily picking up people's VPN numbers. He could have said that to the wrong person and they could have never told him they did it and they could have been knocking on his door. People are doing trends like that now.
oh yeah. They call it's called I forgot. Dang, but pretty much they get your IP address, and then after that, it's not hard to get your physical address, and they swat your damn house, your grandma house. Just go ahead and drop a bug up in there, and the FBI or SWAT whoever be kicking in your door or knocking on your door. But
Bro,
yeah,
they
you're
about
right
to
about
slay
that.
people's moms. This little 16-year-old slayed like 4 or 5 dudes' moms who was calling him the M bomb on I think it was PS online and Xbox online. These little dudes was not even 13 yet. Like he was slaying their moms. That's real shit. That's what I'll be meaning as well. It's like they don't have to send SWAT. Somebody can just actually be at your house. Like they got a set of keys just because you feel like you want to have a laugh.
Hold on, so check this out, because I remember on Call of Duty. during my era, it was Modern Warfare 2. As soon as I go in the lobby, this is like, hear me out on this. You go in the lobby, and as soon as I talk, it'd be a group of them. Like, once they hear that voice, they're like, oh, yeah, there's a black dude right here. They just turn, they turn up, man. They hit you with the hard, they hit you with everything. And then you got to go ahead and hit them back with the dang walking on four legs, the dog. You know what I'm saying? It's
But
ignorant
it's
because I was
crazy.
childish. But go ahead, it's crazy. It's ignorant, but it I don't know how to explain that though. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they were saying it, but at the end of the day, they probably, they go back to school and they probably be, like, dating somebody from another ethnicity or, best friends with somebody from another ethnicity. You kind of get what I'm saying? Is that so?
Yeah, but
Yeah, go ahead.
you
My
know
bad.
how long they be holding that in all day just to get online and say that shit? They be holding that shit in all day just to get online and do that shit. Like you said, they can hang out with anybody at school or date somebody like that as well. It's just a point of that's how bad it provokes them. It's just like another thing I sit back and watch. Like people have a debate on why white people shouldn't say the N word. To me, in my eyes, you know how I feel about that. It's at the end of the day, if that's what you call yourself, and then on top of that, they invented the term. So what's the dysfunction at the end of the day? Like,
Yeah, you're right. So I've been saying that. I said that a while back. I said I was going to calm down with, like really stop like overall saying it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, and I did. I actually did good. I calmed down with it because, at
Nah,
the
it
end of the
wouldn't
day,
be like your type. It'd be probably the type that'll try to give everyone a pass just because they're like, well, man, that word don't mean nothing to me. And they can run into somebody like us and try to use it with us. And it's like, whoa, hold on now. Those
oh, you
people
talk
who
about
be,
that? Oh no,
yeah,
that's a
that
bad
type of,
way. Yeah.
yeah.
So my bad, yeah, my bad, real quick, buddy. But what I'm saying with that situation, it's like I knew it was over when I was in high school. I think I was in like 10th or 11th grade, and I went in the bathroom. I was like in weight training class. I went in the bathroom, and it was these two European kids, and they were like, pushing on each other, and they, quote, they was just pushing each other, like, about to swing at each other, and it was like
Yeah.
they was just hitting each other with the damn nigga this and nigga that, and I was like, oh. I was like, bruh, I was like, the influence. I said the influence, bruh. I just didn't know how to react. I was just confused, man. That was, yeah, yeah. Like I'm telling you, man, I was about to go in there to take a leak, and they were pushing on each other, about to swing at each other. And they're like, what you gonna do, nigga? Nah, you gonna do that, nigga? And they're like, both of them were like European. And I just been so confused, bro. And then that's why I know that it's an influence within the culture. Like I'm talking about like it's psychological warfare. Shouts out to Don and shouts out to you and Moe Factz. Like it's way deeper than, you know what I'm
But what
saying?
I want to know is why they don't want to actually fix the problem. Like my segue seem like they straight to the points because nobody wants to get details on why they want to cling to these two subcultures so badly. To me, it seems like people have gotten to the improv of acting out slavery, no matter how they can stretch it, no matter if it's in the mental fashion, no matter if it's in the physical fashion, no matter how it is, because I'm not gonna lie to you, nowadays most people don't gotta actually ask for stuff. Like I'm still wondering how people ask for freedom. I still never got that one. That's something as a child that I'm like, man, how do you ask for free? Like, how do you ask for that? Like, it's a lot of
Yeah,
stuff that doesn't make sense and nobody's willing to talk about it.
yeah,
For
like what?
one,
Yeah, go ahead.
go
My
ahead. Now
bad.
you good.
So like for freedom, people fail to realize with freedom, you got to go ahead and like no social security card number. So therefore you got to learn how to make your own water, gas. People will give up their freedom for security, which is societies that we live in. They have laws. But go ahead, my bad, Bobby.
Nah, you're right. That's like concepts I don't get as well. And then I have people who've been on the journey was like, I don't like money and stuff like that. Well, it's like, well, it's not like you have to evolve or go along with what the new world is going along with. But as long as you know how to use the things around you, you can't ever get behind on stuff like that. So it's like people don't want to seem to like, I can't even put a word to it, to be honest with you, what people don't want to do with themselves when it comes to that situation. I could say they rather lazy and keep depending on the way things are moving to take care of them because if they keep passing out these stimmy checks, people don't have to learn nothing. You see what I'm saying? And they can let everything around them change for themselves. Or everybody can notice that there's a big issue. And then if they keep letting race do things, I'm going to be honest with you. Let me get straight to the point. If they keep doing it by giving people checks, how do black people actually think that their checks are going to end up looking at the end of the day? Because they have had the most taken out resources that have to do with taking care. Like you know what I'm saying, Section 8, stuff like that. So if they go based on how they're going to get people money off that and nobody else has used their resources like that, how do you think those checks are going to come out for people to live on?
I have no idea on that one.
Because
That's a
they have to
good question.
tax that. They do economically. They have to tax that before they give each class of people how they do it politically. They have to tax that and see how much each one has used. It's like at the end of the night, if you're at a food restaurant, you can't eat the leftover food. You have to sum it up and see which percentage that is. And from what everybody else is saying, it's not looking too good for those who consider themselves black when they have a time to change.
So so check this out though. Like when you giving out these topics right here, we're gonna go back to the trolls, you know, who be putting the racial slurs and everything. So is that like they do that because subconsciously they see a good portion of our people play victim, kinda? Like, what do you think make them want to just like
Bro,
put
I'm
it this
telling
way?
you.
In a bathroom, yeah, like okay, you go to a bathroom stall or porta potty, whatever, you know, like in school or
Yeah.
whatever, and you go in the bathroom stalls, and this, I think, the bathroom stalls is like where most people like deepest thoughts are at, and you automatically gonna see some racial slurs on the wall and all that. Why is that? Like, what? That's the psychological warfare we're talking about right there. So, out of everything to think of, why go straight to that? You know what I'm saying? It's politics, and it's like, you know,
It's
race.
the influence they get to be involved in those. You're invited to the cookout, watching those videos, listen to run it. The music itself indoctrinates them into saying it, and it's like nobody has a problem with that because if you do speak up on it, you have those niggas who give everybody a pass and say, "Well, it's just music." They're not directly saying it towards you. Let everybody say it, but they don't want to grasp it to the fact they're indoctrinating something that wasn't technically invented for them. So if they keep the drill of using it in their mind, they're going to feel like they can use it towards you as well. They're learning it from somebody like you. They know what indoctrination is. So as they're listening to it, they're like, I know I'm being indoctrinated. So who indoctrinated to me? I should be able to say what I'm saying to you as they're teaching me to say it to everybody, or like they're saying it to me as well.
And see, perfect way that you explain it. And thing with shots fired, he said, I asked him that question. He said because they know a racial slur will usually get under a person's skin. We're gonna go deeper in that shots fired.
No, it's
Why? Like, what caused it
indoctrination.
to get them under? Yeah, indoctrination. So, can you please explain to me more in depth what indoctrination is? Like, so I have an understanding of it fully, please.
It's like when they transferred from hip hop to rap, they specifically told them the music wasn't actually made. Like NWA, the movie NWA for one was a good example. How they did the music wasn't actually made for the people who was buying it, like in the suburbs and stuff. That's indoctrination. Once they started getting a taste of what they actually couldn't go around, their brain started getting indoctrinated into wanting to learn more of it. So what do you do when you're indoctrinated about something and you learn it? You repeat it. And their parents got tired of that shit. That's why they didn't want them involved in rap and stuff like that. Their children started sagging, started cursing, started doing all kind of stuff, started saying the N-bomb. And the N-bomb was the biggest thing that they didn't want in their house, especially most of them when they wasn't using it for like a derogatory term like they was taught. They didn't want their children bringing Ice Cube or anybody like that home. And it's the same as today. It's like it's the saying goes, they love you, they love what you create, but they don't love you. It's the same thing.
So, quick question, like you right, because there was times where I don't know if it's a P Diddy music video when they had moved into the suburbs, but it's like we ain't going nowhere. And when
Yeah,
he pull in on like I think it was a car sitting on rims, and he was blasting his music, the hip hop music, and you saw
yeah.
the European neighbors, they had a child and they was covering their child ears. Can you explain that in the depth? And we think it's funny.
That's
Can you, yeah, go ahead.
that's a living action. Puff Daddy actually said that a while back when they first started actually making millions. He was like, "It's the wisdom is true." He didn't say the wisdom, but he was like, "It's true. We don't have nowhere to go. We can't go to the hood because everybody hates you and want to rob you, and we can't go around these rich white people because they really don't want you there, even though you got the money anyway. So you had to make your own lane, and then to make your own lane, you had to be resourceful just to keep above water." And then one thing people don't have that are asking for these things are black people. The reason white people could be racial is the resource that they need. You see what I'm saying? That's just a natural resource for them. So if they don't keep it, the narrative will change.
Dang, man. Like so it's like the like I said, it's the so the indoctrination, like with STEMs, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It's cool to be an entertainer and you know a professional athlete, when it comes to indigenous people overall. That's the stigma that's being pushed upon the mass.
That's indoctrination as well. That's why they use us and everything. Indigenous people, they play basketball. That's how they get people to buy stuff. Like they say, it's like they say basketball players in college, they get to do everything for people, but they don't get paid. It's free slavery. Well, the rest of it is as well. It's just indoctrination, though. You're teaching people how to learn you without getting paid for it. That's why they're putting you in the things that are considered the top notch of this country. That's why you're considered good creators and stuff. But when it comes to other stuff like resourcefulness and being counted as somebody, actually, you don't have to rank in that. You only have to rank in something resourceful in America.
Oh, dang. See, there we go. That's what we're getting at right there, the resourcefulness. So it's like you don't get paid. Like when they call you creator, it's a difference. Like how you've been saying with intelligence is cross intellectual stuff. So like you could be a creator, like on some Nikola Tesla stuff. You could create, like, us, we could create amazing things. But the capitalism, though, explain that, the difference of that, though.
Man, that's a great example to use. Honestly, that's one of the perfect ones. Like, look, all this Tesla is one of the first people to invent sufficient energy. Edison stole his patent to create energy that people had to pay for. The man who created sufficient energy died poor with nothing. He was one of the brilliant and brightest people on this earth. Now you have to pay for electricity because somebody who wasn't as bright stole the patent, demonized it just so they can make a contribution to the economics of the government. Okay, and that's indoctrination as well.
We're gonna go on that. And to be honest, Nikola Tesla, I think, was he from Brazil, South America, or something like that?
Something like that.
Okay, so he died in like a low-class hotel in New York City, I believe. And they had an old picture. They show this is that propaganda. They showed the young pictures of Nikola Tesla. You go look at the pictures when he passed away from, you be like, oh man. And that's a perfect example you use, and not with the race thing, but it's like Thomas Edison, he had stole many patents. He had a patent office, from many people he stole. But the thing is, though, capitalism just had override that, just
it's the same thing with the racism, because racism is a resource. The resource is capitalism in America. Doesn't matter what form it come in, it's a currency. As long as it can bring some type of money in, it's going to be okay. Racism brings in form of social media, TV shows, especially reality shows, political issues, down to state and law issues. It has a place to create money everywhere. So if the narrative is actually naturally killed, then there goes that whole empire, and there's its legs. And what's the number one thing going on right now? Just like old buddy in the comments said, why are you so shocked? Well, I'm trying to get people to learn not to be shocked. So if you help me out and come to my page and you do things like that, and you actually speak out and use the N-word, and I can show people how it actually has no tangibility or account to their body or person that being, maybe I can help the rest not react the same way. That's the only reason I come on here to speak. It's not actually to come on here and act like I know. It's actually to show you these things that I say are true. If we're going to fix the problem to where people don't react to their flesh, we're going to have to actually live and act these things out.
Okay, boom. Let me stop you right there real quick. You said where people don't react to their flesh, and then we're going to go back to the trolls. So let's say if we have a troll, like let's say they come up in here and they're like, the stereotype of grape soda and fried chicken, which I don't even eat or drink none of that, which is weird. But yeah, that's why I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm sorry, because I saw that the other night and I was looking like, is this some Ken and Kel shit? I thought it was orange soda. I thought black people like orange soda. Oh, my bad, bro. Yeah, I was trying to really figure it out because it was like, I know it's like soda. They said black people like soda, they like drink soda, and they like fried chicken. But I didn't know if it was orange soda or grape soda. So I saw the grape, and I was like, okay, that gotta be grape soda. And I saw the watermelon. No, was it the watermelon? I don't know. Either way, see what I'm saying? It just, the whole.
Bro, I don't even like none of that. I've never liked none of that. I hardly eat chicken. I don't eat none.
That's what I'm saying. Or grape soda. That's what I'm saying. But that's just the stereotype of it, though. So I'm saying, like, reacting to the flesh, when they come in the chat and they drop that on platforms of indigenous people and they react to it, that's probably what they like. Like, I control you, I can call you this and that, and it's all false information.
You called it satire comedy? Is that what you called it?
I'm sorry, say again.
Is that what you called it, satire comedy? Like, where they like
it's satire? Comedy? Yep, from like the Boondocks, kind of like like the Boondocks is like, we gotta get into that on later on the next slide. But yeah, it's kind
Yeah,
of
that's
like,
my
yeah,
shit.
yeah, it's my shit too. People feel some type of way when I say that's like the holy Bible within, the indigenous people in today's
It
America,
is.
and they don't, yeah, it for real, like the fried chicken and all that, Popeyes and stuff. Yeah, like Greg said, if it don't apply, let it fly. But we was talking about, yeah, reacting to the flesh though. So it's like they'll hear like the hard or you.
But you can't. He can't say if it don't apply, let it fly. If we didn't have race, then that would go well. But at the end of the day, as long as you have race and that's attached to a certain type of race, there's always going to be reaction. You can't clear out all the reaction if we actually don't do nothing about it. I can speak to black people all day. A grump can sit here and tell you I have, but that's not going to go well if I sit here and teach them how not to react to it. That's going to probably lead to a lot of things and scenarios that have no good natures behind it. And that's just a fact. So in order for me to actually get y'all what you want or to actually help fix the solution or show a big solution, I would need people who feel like it and think like that and who actually say their word to come on here and speak without feeling scared. Nobody's going to track you down and beat you up. Better yet, you can give a better explanation of why you see it like that.
That's a good thing, Jordan. What Jordan said, like in a way, you're right, and you're kind of it's different perspectives of it. So real quick, I'm gonna use the example. Western indoctrination, right? I believe it,
Yeah,
it bleed over into parts of Africa and Europe. But check this out though, about the black and white. You know what I'm saying? Like you go up to somebody, you be like, oh, why you around all those black people, whatever. But
yeah.
go to a country like Turkey and Europe, and you go to somebody who's darker skin complexion and they're around people who are fair skin complexion, and you be like, what are you doing around these white people and all that? They'll look at you crazy. But if you go
Hell
to them,
yeah.
yeah, if you go to them and be like, oh, why are you Buddhism and all that, they probably gonna want to beat his ass. They be like, we Catholic over here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So explain that though. You get where I'm going at, by explain it, please.
That's a perfect example as well. That's just like in America, most people from countries like that don't know what that is, they'll come here and ask why do they have to trade their nationality for a color half the time, and when they get the option to. That's just because Americans don't actually understand the ideology of what race is only applies here. That's only a stigma that applies here. But it and then the same in some places within the United States, you can also pull that same stigma of nationalities crossing each other, but you have to go directly in their neighborhoods to do it. It's not like a whole country though. So it's just reversed. It's like over there it will be reversed. Instead of doing race, it would be nationality. And you can go to every block and get it like that, and you can hardly get race anywhere. But over here, you just got to go to certain blocks and get nationality. But everywhere you can get race.
Exactly right there. And that's it right there. That pretty much like it's all does all this result to capitalism though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
it's a resource. Like most people don't grasp the fact that racial is actually racism, which is every ideology of each European continent put together to create a government. That's all it is. Each forefather was not one set of European. It was either Dutch or some other stuff, and they all had their different forms. And that's where the languages come from. That's why most indigenous people can't read the language of law because they don't want to track down the actual definitions of the words, sit down and read it verbatim and understand where it comes from.
oh yeah, go ahead and break that down again because it's like the English, like English here is already broken because it's like old English from UK, and then it comes from what, Latin? Correct me if I'm wrong. You see how it's
No,
like
it's
what?
all the Inquisition's languages put together. It's either two words from their actual languages or two words from their two different languages they came together and put together. We don't speak a tongue. This is not a tongue. We actually are speaking bilingual. Black people are actually fluid in speaking culture like and nationality more than they think as well. And they have a natural language which is called Ebonics. Ebonics is actually a language.
I see. I didn't know that. Quick, you go deeper into the ebonics though.
Ebonics is like the closest sound wave and signals to your natural language and stuff like that. It's just like the frequency behind it. Like you remember that last time when we was talking about the what's ups and stuff like that. That's a language. That's a symbolism of language where you can use one word and a tone and frequency, and they can meet a multitude of dimensions. You just have to have the intellect to decipher what it means. If you don't compute to that level of intellect, you're not going to be able to read the language. It's a mental reading.
Oh, for example, I'm gonna use a quick example of what he's saying for the people in the chat. So let's say that if I pull up to a club and the line is long, I don't go to clubs by the way, but I pull up to a club and it's like, 11 p.m. and I go up to the security guards. I'm like, you gonna let me in on, on VIP? And they're like, you're not on the list and all that. So I'm gonna be like, y'all not gonna let me in and all that? And they're like, no. And I say, bet, and I leave. That's the bonus right there. How you saying? So can you
Yep,
explain to them
especially if
what
he
that
was a
means?
brother.
Yeah,
Like
brother. Yeah.
say I'm gonna do it even more simple. It's like everybody be like, how do y'all know what what's up means? It's like y'all can say what's up silently and two people can end up fighting. You can say what's up and two people can end up laughing. You can say what's up and two people adapt up. Or y'all could be complete strangers and two what's ups can be two complete strangers in a frequency knowing they're complete strangers saying what's up just to be friendly. And everybody asks that question, how do y'all know? Well, let's call it intellectual intelligence at the end of the day, and it's basically based off energy and sensitivity. That's all it is. It's just like most people will laugh at this, but if I was to turn my laptop around and read the Trio's Trilateral Psychology of Indigenous and Aboriginal People, they'll tell you that you intellectually, based on a level that you don't actually have to do no talking, you can actually speak in one syllable words and have a whole conversation. That's why rap is designed the way it is somewhat.
And that was the perfect way. I'm glad all this was on live right now for everybody. That was a perfect way how you explain it right there. Very perfect way. I'm trying to see what people say in the chat. That was shit. I'm gonna have to go back and when I do the timestamps, I got to go to that part and probably clip that right there
I'm
because
for real.
that
That's
was.
why that's where the face comes from. Well, most people be like, why y'all make that face? It's a intellectual, it's a feeling. That's a intelligence as well. It's called musical intelligence, where you can feel music down to the core, to where the hairs on your body arise, or you would just feel it to where it can move your body. Also, water and sound moves in the frequency itself. So if you're not actually part of that frequency's nationality, your body won't move to its rhythm. That's why any person of a melanation can dance to each other's music. The frequency pitch is the same because the melanin computes the same.
Oh, see, there we go. Bars right there. Yes, being able to determine what BET means, like I can't get in BET. No, no, my bad. I'm tripping. I'm see. I'm thinking about Black Entertainment Television, but I just said bet. Yeah, yes, being able to determine what bet means, like I can't get in bet, or like I
Yeah.
can't get in bet. My bad, Shots Fire. You pretty much repeating what I was saying. Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to get
And
to.
they just used it in four different ways just then. Put that back up. That was dope.
Yeah, like
It was
that's
like,
crazy.
yes, being able to determine what bet means, like I can't get in bet, or like, oh, I can't get in bet. Like you see how he just used that.
Oh,
And to
see,
us, we see why
yeah,
we laughing. you see.
yeah.
And people be like, why y'all laughing at that? It's because as many times as he used bet, it was not in the same frequency, not one time, but it all different had meanings behind it.
And it's crazy because I haven't seen it like that until he brought it back. And then when he had read, then I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. It's like on those two different bets. It's like bet
So
like
it goes back to your line at the club. If the indigenous people would have heard that, they would have literally got missed, and everybody else would have stood around like, what does that mean? And there's no
it,
time to be talking. You better move.
exactly. Like, yeah, like not to put him on blast, but Master P, brother C Murder, it's like it was a video, but the audio was off, and it sounded like he said, I bet. You know what I'm saying? That's why I kind of came up with that.
Yeah,
It's like he went, like he opened the door, he went to the club, and he looked, and it looked like he said, I bet. And he turned around, and everybody started, and then he opened that door again and started shooting. So that's why we like kind
yep,
of looking at like, yeah, we already know. Like it could be two things. It could be like, bet y'all have a nice night, or bet I'll be back.
yep. And
Yeah.
depending on how his energy come off behind that bet, we know what to do next.
And that was very intelligent of you, brother, to break it down like that because we already got it in us, we already know it, but the way you broke it down, it's like it makes it understand more.
And then if indigenous people learn that the more that they tap in, if they was to use black as a code, just a code to where to see we're different under indigenous natures, but learn our actual nationalities, they would be more intellectual and use this intellectual property way beyond what they're using it now. They're using it flawlessly, but it's not being used accordingly. That's it.
My bad, brother, my bad. So with Sierra though, off of piggyback what you said, she said, do you think most of our music are developed on lower frequencies?
Nah, our music is basically 420 hertz or higher. That's why we don't. That's why Kanye only got to use those 808 synthesizers and stuff like that. Even the most trafficked and drillers beats don't even come like that.
I'm about to say you can't kind of hear you because you got somebody going ham in the back.
But no, it was like
Hold on, I kind of mute you real quick because my ear kind of been bleeding. My bad. Hold on, real quick. Hold on.
well,
All right, now we good. Now you good. Now you good. It was somebody kind of like somebody their mouth was on the phone. Like I was like, oh snap.
you stupid. But nah, that's why I was like, our music is always. If they listen to our music, it's the modern day classicals and orchestras. Chief Keef and them use violins, pianos, and stuff like that. 808s use the same thing, but in different patterns. If you go back and play classical music and then you play trap music, you'll see the only difference is the 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 emphasis in the instruments actually have words now. That's all it is.
Yes, and I agree. Like so, with Mozart or Beethoven, all the way down to Lex Luger, that's what he's trying to show the
That's what they
difference
were
with.
saying when they make the beats. That's exactly that's why it goes together. That's why the two frequency matches each other. If most people don't want to admit that, but at the end of the day, it is what it is.
That's crazy. That's exactly. Dog, shots fired crazy, man. He said, "Bad, I'm on my way." Like, what's another thing? And I still didn't use bet as in gamble yet. When that's what bet really means. Oh, man, my bad, man. I can't even damn read. I gotta put the glasses on. You're right, because bet is with the gambling. Like, with the gambling, like let's bet, but it's
Yeah.
different. It's wow, that's crazy, man.
And you know what's crazy? I like the fact that they pointed that out because it when no matter how that frequency of that word is used, it's a gamble what's coming next.
It is. You're right. It is.
Now you see how meaningful we use words that don't even care. Now, if they started using meaning again, they will have a whole resource of things that they can depend on in life. That's how easy it is to look at your natural nature and the culture and how valuable it is if you was to step away from one closed mind political nature and quit reacting to certain words or thinking of yourself as certain words and certain natures.
Boom, boom. The industry, the industry manipulates the trending sound into lower frequency tones. You agree with that,
That's
Bobby?
right. That's right. We just like me and my family just watched The Conjuring 2 the other night, and the day before that, I just watched on the frequencies. Somebody just asked about low frequency. That's why I thought of this. Those same frequencies they use at the end of the music or to make scary tones are actually the essences and noises that demonic figures make. So that's how they come up with scary sounds. They had to most of these people who made movies went to schools like that, like Catholic schools and stuff like that, to learn things like this. Making movies is more, especially the sound effects that go with them. You have to create essences that people could actually feel through a programming station. So that's the alchemy of being able to manipulate somebody's emotions through a projector film without you ever step in the room and knowing how that person actually functions based off the concept of what you know.
And that. So I got a quick question on that. Piggyback off that. With this psychology book I had, they had did this test on a toddler, and I want to say, hold on, man. I'm about to get back to that real quick because it's like they had made a sound. I don't know if it's a bell sound or a balloon sound. Toddler experiment. Uh, loud sound. My bad, because I got the book under
Nah,
my
go
laptop.
ahead.
Okay, so it says blow up a balloon. Hold it. Not that one. If I could get, damn, I might just pull that book out real quick. Yeah, just hold
Was
that
it like
thought.
the
Yeah, on
loud
that.
noise test?
Yeah, it was like the scientist or whatever you want to call it was giving a toddler something, and it was like mixing up the sounds. Like if it's like a loud sound, usually we'll jump off it, but it did it to the point where it made a loud sound. The toddler didn't like cry or jump off it, and it had like a little more pleasing sound. And I forgot what was the consequence behind that sound, but the child had cried off of that. So can you explain that though? That's why I wanted to bring that up.
Deeper emotional sound. That's like movies like Disney, DreamWorks and stuff. They have those movies that have like the whole enchanted feeling and stuff like that. Enchanting is a deep emotional, like dreamy feeling. It's a fantasy type feeling, and those feelings come from essences of an unworldly nature as well. And the only way that people can ever discover these types of feelings is one or two ways, good or negative. So at the end of the day, anytime somebody watches DreamWorks, I think you posted a video about this. The reason why they call it DreamWorks is because the word dream in a different language means moon and so forth and so forth. So every time you're watching a movie, that's why you get trapped in a fantasy world.
I about to say I ain't gonna lie to you, Bobby. I think I didn't do that. I think that's a reach right here. I don't remember that. DreamWorks. I don't
I'm
know. I
sorry.
think
That's why I
that's
said I don't know if it was
I
you.
would
That was
say
my
it.
fault.
That's all good. I wish, but I kind of get what you're saying though. With that, like the DreamWorks, like it's a state though. It's definitely like with Disney. I
What?
just
Hold
thought
on.
about
What
it. We
does
brought
Mo
it up.
actually mean by that?
Oh my bad. Oh, what is Bobby's thoughts on the meaning of black is actually meaning white? I think he's talking about from the dictionary probably point of view. Like black is probably the absence
No,
of
I'm talking from
white
the
light.
actual. Hold on. If I hang up, I don't mean to. Can you hear me still?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hold
sir.
on, my fault, bro.
Hold
Can
on,
you
real
hear me
quick.
still?
Yeah, I can hear you. My bad. Yeah.
Grumpler. Hold on, man. Sorry, my sound fucking.
No, I hear. I hear you. I hear you.
Hear me still?
Yeah, I hear you still.
My fault. That's my fault.
Now I hear you, but it's like kind of the connection. The connection kind of like lagged off now. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
what I'm saying. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, probably try to turn your camera off and talk to see if it could like help with the connection. Like, all right, now go
What
ahead and
about
talk
now?
now. Perfect. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so what was I referring to?
So, what is Bobby's thoughts on the meaning of black is actually meaning white? I gotta see. He says I'm speaking on the. Oh crap! I got the app Etymology. I hope I pronounced that right.
The
Don't slam me,
etymology,
y'all.
I'm talking about when it was represented as Giovanni di Verzanio and other people who were conquistadors on the 16th century Inquisition that many people think Columbus discovered. That is the first time in copywrittens of descriptions of people that they encountered, which encountered the word Negro, black, or anything of that nature. So the term actually wasn't coined till late 16th century. Before then, these terms were never coined at all.
So you saying it didn't exist at all until Christopher Columbus came on the islands with South America and the islands up?
Man, my
I
signal
cannot.
breaking up. I can barely hear you. I'm sorry, bro.
No, you all right. I think I'm about to say, I don't know if you probably had to get Wi-Fi or something, but I said that word didn't exist until what Columbus came on like the islands, above South America, like went to the New
Yeah,
World.
he didn't come along. He wasn't even the first person to encounter. It was a guy named Giovanni di Verzanio, and he was the first person that wrote back to King Francis the First during 1504, I think it was, and he wrote the complex of the indigenous people he encountered. This is written down. It was what is considered North Carolina today.
Oh damn! See, you put me on game with that because I
That's off
knew
the Britannica. He's reading out. No, he's right. That's reading out of the Encyclopedia Britannica. Just like in other
yeah.
countries, black can mean the abyss and stuff like that as well.
Dang,
So those are
that's
those
on point.
words. Matter of fact, that's what I'll talk about as well. The alchemy of words. Each word here is an etymology of an actual European language or something like that.
Can you give me like an example real quick that you got on your head?
Uh, a lot of
Yeah.
words. It's so easy to explain it. I just can't pick a specific word. Any word we're using right now, like the word nine in German means no, actually, but the word no here doesn't mean nine. So if you was to go to Germany and say no, they're gonna think you say nine. But if you said nine, it would actually mean no. But over here, the Germans use the word nine as actual nine.
See, see, y'all see where this is going at? Y'all see where this is going at? Wow. I was about to pull up my dang app. Yeah, online etymology app. For example, let me just say something like, uh, I'm on the app right now, but what I'm trying to figure out a word to type. What type in what? Negro or black or
Yeah, there's two different ways you can type that. You could put in Aboriginal to come in the same. It'll be the same thing. Put in Aboriginals of Australia and tell me what you get and what they would be considered.
my bad. I'm about to type in it right now. You said all strip, just Aboriginal.
Yeah, of Australia, America, Brazil. You can do any
All right,
of them.
I'm gonna go type that in right now. Come on, my bad. Dang.
No, you good.
Okay, here we go. Boom. It says 16 1660, first earliest existing from the beginning, especially in reference to inhabitants of lands colonized by Europeans.
See,
See,
look, you ain't even got to read no further. If they was colonized, what were they?
okay, yeah.
See what I'm saying? They use wordplay. Any word that starts writing people out before they started using the term Negro, it's colonizer, pre-colonial, or colonial age.
It says something about the specific Australian sense is attested from 1820 to now, meaning an original inhabitant, and I can't pronounce the word autothon is
Yeah,
attested. Yeah. So you right. That was good wordplay. They actually do that in the law too.
yep.
Appreciate you, shots fired.
Like I'm glad that he said that's like when you go to court, if you get on the stand, most people don't understand this. They ask you this question specifically. They'd be like, "Are you a citizen, or you are? It's a citizen or a U.S. American?" And if you say you're a citizen, that means you're an employee and no constitutional rights apply to you. But if you be like, "I'm a U.S. American," then you got a fair chance of doing some stuff. There's lawyers who tell this stuff all the time. It's actually one lawyer on TikTok who said she passed the bar, and at the end of the day, she wasn't supposed to tell it, but she don't use her degree. And it's like they don't actually go by what they say. They make it up and go by past beliefs and things of that nature. Like I read last time on here, that's just what the law is made of. The ideology of keeping a certain few in traditional order.
You nailed it. You just was citizen, a native or naturalized member of a state or other political community.
See?
I mean that. And we
But
said,
people
"Are you a
think I just be
citizen?"
reading to read. My fault. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you get said. So they'll ask you, "Are you a citizen or are you what else?"
U.S. American,
Oh, okay, got you. All right, go ahead, finish your
brother.
thing.
Right now, you look up U.S. versus USA.
I might as well pull it up on Google right here so to help y'all out. Real quick. All right, U.S. versus USA, and what you want me to find? The USA versus the U.S. English language and usage stack. U.S. versus uh. You want me? I'm just gonna click on a random link real quick.
It shouldn't even matter which one. U.S. versus USA means the United States versus United States Americans, which are the political people who have actual rights.
It
If you're a part
says
of the U.S., you're a citizen. That's it. Remember, the citizens are the employees. The people who run the place are the actual supervisors. So if everybody's working to keep the place in order, and the people got to sit in office and take identifications and stuff like that, they're nothing but large supervisors, and the president is nothing but the CEO of the 50 corporations.
uh. U.S. What's the difference between? Dang, that's something right there. I'm about to like, cause Google for some reason I'm about to go DuckDuckGo or something. Is hitting us up with some other stuff. I ain't like
Do you
probably
still have that video I sent you? That Jordan Maxwell?
Jordan Maxwell. What was it on Instagram? You guys sent me.
Yeah, it was about the two laws.
Give me 1 second to get my memory refreshed real quick. I'm about to go to our chat real quick right now.
Don't play because that shit long. But if you listen to it, man, you'll be like, man, you'll start seeing everything differently because he'll sit down and tell you the natural two laws that govern every law. So you don't even have to listen to the other laws because you'll stay out the way. You'll learn so much from it.
Jordan Maxwell, occult and historic. Oh, okay, that's what it was.
Yeah,
Dang.
now if we had to now one night we ever have the time for that, I would like to play certain parts of that. Now I want you to listen to it if you can, and then you'll know the certain parts, and then I want you to play your own certain parts. But that is something that most people should listen to because that's what's actually going on.
That's facts right there. I definitely could drop a link in the chat for people to check that out right there. Now I know we've been like hitting a lot of dang good points and like mind opener things. So let me see. The country run on a maritime law.
Yeah,
Let me see.
maritime land and sea
Yes.
law. You're right. That's exactly what they're gonna talk about. And man, once you hear why things are named the way that they're named, you're gonna quit touching certain things, buying certain things. You're gonna look at things totally differently, like completely different.
Appreciate you, Jordan. It says look up his iOS interview also too. I'm gonna save that in my later thing. But go ahead.
Nah, you right. Like, and this dude, most people, man, he get to sit with the elite of the elite, and he's the only one of in the few because he's an indigo, and those people actually like people who think like I do and like that. Those people really actually value that, but they won't ever tell society about people like that because they use those ideas for themselves. The real ideas they actually can help change things, and people actually listen. Those are the type of people they go to listen to open thought form. And Jordan Maxwell is one of them. Like he got the whole man. When I say he got information from Rockefellers themselves. Like he know who Jay Electronica is, and he knows he's even dated one of the Rothschild children himself.
See, and then can we get into depth on that right there? Like, for instance, how do I explain this? Can you break this barrier right here when it's like, for instance, we're gonna use Elon Musk. Okay, I read his autobiography. Uh,
Yeah,
ethnicity is Canadian, but he been born in South Africa, and found a way to make it to Canada, to make it to America. So pretty much like he had broke the barrier by, what was it, after PayPal, SpaceX, and Tesla electric cars. So what I'm trying to say is that with Rockefeller and all them and Andrew Carnegie, their family bloodline,
yeah.
like, break this mind barrier when they're like, oh, they ain't gonna let you do that. They're gonna go ahead and kill you and all that. Like, can you explain that right there? Is that propaganda or is that actually true in some way? You know what I'm saying?
It's somewhat propaganda. Like when it comes to low level stuff, like what Ayo and them be describing on how they just keep people distracted and how he's teaching people to straighten up. It's not that deep. But when it comes to Elon's level and them, they let people like that do certain stuff because most of those people come from bloodlines that most people aren't really gonna hear about because it's something that you read about. So they just give them other nicknames from close German family members or other European members. Like Mark Zuckerberg is actually one of the Rothschild's grandchildren, and most people won't know that. And it's easily to know if you just go look at his grandparents. It tells who his whole family is.
I didn't know that. So okay.
Look, I used to work at Facebook. That's a factual fact. And this man, the area he comes in when he visits, if you was to even step 1 foot on the property, it's $10,000 by each step you take closer. And it gets 10, 20, 30, 40, and it just gets there to you if you can reach the door.
Huh? You said what? Like you
Bro,
step
Google
foot?
this and show everybody. 480 Social Circle, Forest City, North Carolina. That's the Facebook place.
All right. So what's up with the place right here? You talking about?
It's Facebook. When you log into Facebook, that's where your shit goes to.
Oh, the server over there.
Yep. It's not just the server. They got break room. The people who hack and do stuff like that, their break rooms are game rooms. Bro, it's some whole other shit in there. Like the servers got they one whole building. I worked there. I was a tech data service person. I worked in that department where I would check them, see if they was running hot, see if they was like having any code surges because they got like 4 different type of lights on them. And if one light was blinking, if one light was running, that means that somebody was trying to hack somebody's page or somebody was trying to hack something about Mark, period. So I would be a person who would take inventory and keep stuff in that room and stuff like that clean. I wasn't a hacker and nothing like that. I won't say that. My
10K per
daughter
step.
though, her uncle, he works for Apple now.
Who said who works for Apple now?
My daughter's uncle.
Oh, see, I mean, explain like what? How do I explain that? So, like,
Hey,
back
Moe
again.
Factz said he from the Dale. Oh shit.
Yeah. So, like, put it this way. Okay, back to with the trolls. The trolls got like Apple and Facebook. Let's be real, is a cult. Like, okay, and many things are cult. To be honest, like with
Yeah.
a set mind and set belief, kind of. So, with the trolls, they have like a belief and they have a cult. So, like, how does that like? I'm trying to come up with the right words
How
to
does it
say.
work?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Like, how does
It's
it
just
work?
like
Like,
it's just like how we get told we from a certain bloodline of a higher creation. They come from that certain bloodline who's going against the creation at the end of the day. So what these people do, they're firsthand with bringing out the technology passed down in a newer form, just like the apple. That's a representation of the Eve gene, the people who are doing things in her nature and to bring destruction upon this earth and so forth and so forth and so forth. But The reason why you can't speak on stuff like that is because the way that they got religion set up to where people would defend it before putting the actual work together. So before they read the symbolism and how things was converted into this and that, they're gonna defend it and keep that connection far away from each other before they even stop doing what they're doing, so they can put an end to what's causing mayhem.
All right, that's a perfect. That's all I need to know. That's a perfect example right there. Perfect example. So when it could be like with beliefs and stereotypes and the propaganda and the social engineering, the
Yeah.
whole nine yards. Their first thing is a knee jerk reaction to like defend it, deflect it before they even like
Yep.
acknowledge it, and that's it. I
It's
mean,
just like
yeah. Go ahead, my bad.
it's my fault. I ain't mean to cut you off, but it's getting to a point to where I feel like the stuff I speak on, I it's rare for me to need to actually speak on it because most people don't care. But at the same time, I know that since I can speak like this, it would be rude on my behalf not to, and some people miss out on what they actually could be doing or see an actual purpose in themselves from hearing somebody give them a connection to something they thought was wild that they was thinking already.
Appreciate it. Appreciate that. I mean, you got anything else, real quick, Bobby? Like, you
Nah,
got
just other than that, like everybody, I'm switching over to some new equipment and stuff like that. I know we about to get off on here. Just everybody appreciate you coming through. I appreciate Grunt for hosting this tonight. If anybody will, I know y'all keep coming to my page to subscribe. I'm going to keep you updated with content. I might post stuff here and there, but every Saturday I'm going to try to get back live. But no, just actually go and read. And instead of getting upset at people when you see things, just sit back and just actually go and research things. Like look at America. If you were to know how to get deep within yourself, flip the channel and look at what Americans are complaining about. Look who's doing the complaining. Look what section they're from, down to the culture, what they believe in, and stuff like that. And just look at how words have created what can I say, a psych ward of people in America, and they're just running them up with racial slurs to try to provoke, to keep what I don't even know what to call it, bro. If racism dies for America, then that will be like the end of the biggest movie script ever built for Europeans. And I can't even say Europeans because at the end of the day, that's not even the same gene.
it like this is gonna come up with another way. Like you say that, let's say that ends, and let's say if you want to get futuristic, it could be like humans against artificial intelligence that look like humans. You know what I'm saying? It
You're
could be
right.
stuff like that.
Because they have released that there are 80 different species of extraterrestrial, which are called beings, honestly. And considering they never considered us human to begin with, we're one out of the 80. Anything that's considered a melanation, especially since we're indigenous to this planet. And then you got the grays and the whites. The whites, that's where the term white people actually came from, because that's how they disguise themselves. The RH blood type in the transforming in the tails and stuff. So they blend in with the whites. But that's another segue. Let
Yeah,
me let
very
you get
enough.
off of here. Yeah, that's another segue. But I just want to appreciate everybody who tuned in, all the questions. Once again, I appreciate you, Grunt, for going in.
Interchangeably, especially.
Listen to this shit. I was like, if you gonna play that, listen to that shit. But yeah, everybody do your research on the things that I say. Go and read. Just don't take my word. They're very factual, but the words can also take you. Yep, the RH blood. The words can also take you down another path of your own curiosity. As I said before, I need numbers when it comes to actually making this change stand and putting an end to race, so people can actually see clear and get things moving forward. I know this sounds futuristic, but at the end of the day, we're here to evolve. So if evolving isn't actually part of the plan, then just tell me to step back and I'll just read and collect my data and science and leave it for the next person to get by easily in life. That's it.
I appreciate it. I mean, we definitely going weekly, like how you said, like this was a lot. I'm definitely gonna timestamp this, and I'm trying to keep them hour longs because this was a lot. It was really on the trolls, and it went from the aspect of the trolls and their mindset to what was the real issue and how the language and how the ebonics and the all that, it just went deep,
Bro,
and
if
that
we
was
didn't
very
have
good.
race, we wouldn't have the trolls. You gotta think about it.
I just thought about it just now. You're right. We wouldn't have them, and like we understand why some of them do it. And some of them had it confused by saying that they like to see people just, get upset over stuff, but you had put it in a different perspective. And I was like, oh, okay. You said
Yeah.
provoking.
Yep, that's what it is. That's racism. Remember, everybody, racism is nothing but intellectual cowardism. In order to beat it, you got to know the game you're playing that's built behind it in the first place.
And that's, you know what, to end it like this, I think it's all about knowing the game that's behind it. If we got many brothers and sisters that just know the game, then there'll be a more better understanding to like approach it, like with knowing law, like knowing law, or knowing getting somebody to read contracts, knowing stuff like that. If you just know the whole
Man,
game. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I keep being rude. Go ahead and finish.
No, that's actually what it was. I was done. You go ahead.
To hype up what you said with facts, philosophy, anything that they created that's considered education should be your literature and math homework if you're indigenous. Put it like that. That's your real schooling. That's the whole indoctrination. They got it summed up into math and the reading subjects. If you want to know what you need to be learning in life, their indoctrination they created as a government, which is law and other things in their form of what we've created already. You should be learning that as regular homework.
That, that's perfect right there.
And I'm gonna holler at you, bro. Next time we get on, we can go on the next segue that you wanted to. I'll just keep in touch with you until.
Oh dang, I appreciate you, Bobby. Yeah, till next time, man. We got some work to go ahead and get popping.
No, I ain't mean to cut off on you. I just didn't want to keep you over the hour like you said you didn't want to, bro. If you got something to say, go ahead. I'm just trying not to go over. That's all.
Oh no, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm about to go ahead and end it soon because I don't want to go past that hour. Because and when I time step it, people could come in, they see certain points like boom, boom, boom. Okay, we need it. But shouts out to I'll say this. Shouts out to Moe Factz because she definitely be having a lot of trolls coming in on her stuff, and like I think last night was the first time where I had experienced that. And Ayo experienced it, and Urban Politician also experienced it. But some people got different reactions to it. Some people want to go head on it. But I did my educational purposes just to like get on one of them. And then I had look, and I'm like, okay, this is actually kind of bigger than what I see. Like, Discord and all that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm glad we on this live right here. So I ain't gonna talk too much, but appreciate her for bringing this to light and going against it.
All right, bro.
All right, y'all. Peace. I'm definitely gonna end this live, and I'm about to go ahead and hit Moe Factz up because Moe Factz said he wanted to come in and he wanted to probably say something. I appreciate you, Shots Five. Shouts out to you, man. Real talk. Shouts out to you. Shouts out to Jordan for coming in. Moe Factz again. Sierra. All y'all, man. Appreciate the love, man. We out. I'm about to probably be back on in like a few more minutes though.